Okay, so let me go slowly on this one because I think it's very important for the Amazonian people to know what is going on with their revolution. Okay, what is going on is we have a set of people in the diaspora who are using the boys on the ground as political pawns. What they have done is they have successfully uh, put these boys under a gauge that these boys can't even do anything because it is very dangerous what is going on. One thing you have to remember is when you become an Amba fighter, you become very vulnerable to blackmail, extortion, blackmailing, and everything. Because one, you have to leave your family because if La Republic comes, they're going to kill you and your family. If they don't see you, they're going to kill the people you love. And the people that you love cannot be around you anymore because they are scared of their own survival. So your only source of sustenance is your group. And now you become vulnerable to the group leaders. If you go out of the line, they're going to retribute in a very difficult way, and you cannot even survive by yourself. The public doesn't want you, your group doesn't want you, so you become an outcast. And that's what happened to Ivo. Now, ADF is not the only group doing this. Sokadef is not the only group doing this. All the groups on the ground. So what they have done is they have this undue influence on the boys. So you guys will be surprised when somebody just in the diaspora and asks an Amba fighter, go and attack A, go and make a video for B. They don't do it because they want it. It's because they are placed in a situation where if they don't listen to the person from the diaspora, they are not going to get a penny. If they go back to the population is going to snitch on them and get them killed, that they are the ones kidnapping and doing the extortion. So the Amba fighters like in between a wall and a hard place. And that is the reason why I decided to join the AMF. My goal was to say it. That is how Ivo was killed. That is how General Ngoy was killed. And that's how most of the soldiers are being killed on the ground. When there is fighting between the groups, especially with the IG, it's like they have an informant there. What he does is he calls La Republique and tell them where the groups are. And then they go and attack the group. Or if the group is resisting to join their group, the IG group.
Yes.
That is what the IG does. And Chris Anu knows what I'm talking about. John Egiawang knows what I'm talking about. Sako knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, so let's move to our third question.
And the boys were just there waiting. And they told them they were going to get them weapons with the money they got from my trip to Boya. Okay? But they did not get them anything. They were there waiting.
Who was waiting? You mean
resources that the boys need. I will not...
Part share, all the money for part share did not go to the people that it was meant to go to. So in other words, what they're doing is they try to bring people together so people can raise money and they get the firepower and keep it for themselves. That is a difference, meaning that it comes to what you're saying, that they want to be the last man standing. So they're using their brains to try to say, oh, we're going to work together. And when people see that and they are happy, they collect the money and then they keep it for themselves. So go ahead.
So I won't characterize it that way. The problem is that Ayaba has political ambitions. Everybody can see that. Okay. Now, one thing people have to remember is that when Commando confiscated the weapons, his second in command, General Biebie, was the one who took that project. In so doing, he shot General Efan. And it took him about 2 weeks for them to extract the bullet out of General Efan. So when the ADF now made him Brigadier General and asked him to go and recover that weapon, the weapon, that was a recipe for disaster because there was bound to be revenge. Ivo would not do that. Whatever happened, the fight, you guys know what happened there. The fight break out, and ADF killed 4 of the IG people.
Namely, do you have their names?
I don't remember their names because it's been a little bit. But amongst the 4 that were killed was the Bayasa guy and 3 other small, I'll call them officers, which is a...
Yes.
I should not be saying. This is very important for people to remember. They did not kill Biebie. they took behavior with them. Just the same way RK was taken by IG.
Yes.
So now this is what made me to break ranks with ADF. When they took behavior with them, they mutilated behavior alive.
They mutilated behavior. Yes. And that was done by Big Number.
Yes, because he was paying him back. And that was devastating to me. And because Ivo told me when that happened, because I called Ivo that, what is going on in Guzan? Where are you? You told me that you were in Teke. He said, I am not part of it. He said, these are his words. Papa Denis, I could die for thing one, no.
True. Because I reached out to him. He actually received the news just like any other person. And he said he did not authorize. Actually, they did it without him knowing because they knew that he was not going to approve it. Ivo actually told me that that was done by Benedict Kwa.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
What happened? So when they took him, they mutilated him alive. And then they dispersed his body. So when Ivo told me, I contacted ATF and asked them for proof of life for Biabia. Because I knew that he was alive. We had a small group. You know, I was part of ATF.
Yes.
So I had a lot of groups that I could contact them one-on-one. But I went to this group. I told them that, you know what? You know, I like to write. ADF told me that, who am I to tell them what to do?
Who did you contact precisely?
I talked to Grace, Ayaba's, what do you call it? National Security Advisor or whatever.
Grace Ajeli.
Yes. I talked to Frank, because Frank is a friend of mine, Frank Abange.
Frank Abange.
Mm-hmm. I talked to Jenny, all of them. We were in that group, Selena Mabo, all of those people.
So who actually told you that you cannot tell them what to do?
Venat. One of the most toxic people in ADF.
Huh?
That is the reason ADF is suffering, is because of those people I just named.
Venat. Yes.
You have Grace. You have Benedinkwa. These are the people who have all those surrogate names. They go on Facebook and attack people, insult people.
Yeah, the fake profiles.
Those are the people. So we're fine. So what this is this. I had my own view. What Henry told me was, Ivo was not killed by the bees. That Ivo was killed by one of us and called the bees to come and pick his body. Now, the reason I did not put that story out there is because his story actually made more sense than mine. Because he said, if I look at the video, where Ivo was killed, the bees did not take pictures of him. We are the ones who took pictures of him. And he said that, let me go back and look at the pictures that were shared on social media. I would discover that the picture came from us, not from the bees. And that we only had pictures of Ivo and the bees when they came and picked his body and took it to the command station. That is when they were shooting the videos with him on the back of the pickup. He said to me that if the bees actually killed him as we are claiming, how comes it that they did not do what they always do? Because when they kill an Amba fighter, they usually naked him to see his Odeshi. And they will take pictures of him. That why did the bees not do that? He said, because the bees did not kill Ivo. Everybody was scared of Ivo. He said,
so did he tell you? Okay.
They have this pattern.
See, I don't want to cut you short. Okay. Now, I want this to really be centered about Ivo's death, which is what we're talking about here. You said the IG made that call.
Yes, they did.
How are you so sure? Did they give you?
I'm sure. Like, okay, this is the issue. Initially, from the information I got in the AMF and the boys who were around Teke when Ivo was killed, was that one of the boys in the neighboring IG camp went and showed where Ivo was because they were so angry at what Ivo did. The fact that IG did it is not even disputed. We all know that. Okay, I had 3 people on the list that I was suspicious of. I was suspicious of the Secretary General of ADF.
Name?
Larry.
Larry
I don't
Ayamba.
know how Amba or Ayamba. What he always
There
tell
are
me
two
not to call
secretaries
him.
there to say the ADF claimed that Ivo Mbah was killed on the battlefield.
No, that's a lie.
And
That's a big lie.
can you debunk this lie and also tell us
No,
what you know about this
it is.
incident? So already you have already just said that that is a lie. And what would be a reason why the ADF will be lying that he was killed in the battlefield?
Now, this is the issue. When the ADF said that, I asked them to correct the statement for the sake of Ivor's family.
Yes.
That Ambassador should know that the bravest warrior we ever had was assassinated. He wasn't killed in the battlefield.
Yes.
That would be something different. Now, these are the facts. If he was killed in the battlefield, right?
Yes.
Who was killed alongside with him? Let the ADF prove it.
Okay.
Why is it that when he was shot, his body wasn't recovered? The bee came and took his body. And his body wasn't taken immediately he was killed. It was taken later on, after somebody took pictures of his dead body. Not a bee, because it was one of us that sent the picture of him lying on the ground in front of that old house. The one thing people should understand is that when the bee comes, they usually burn houses. If they had like people in a small house like that one, they usually burn it. The house that Ivo was hiding in wasn't even burnt. Okay, he was sleeping out there, and Ivo did not come out in a fighting posture because he came out unarmed.
Yes.
So the person that came to talk to him knew him and was a familiar person. Because what happened is, I don't want to put out how the security works, is that you cannot come straight to any camp without being part of the camp. Because they have small...
That's classified. They have checkpoints.
Exactly. So the person that killed Ivo was a familiar person. The person walked up straight to Ivo and killed Ivo because Ivo didn't know that the person could do that. And
Well,
that...
Go ahead.
That falls well. And now this is the stuff which I want the Amazonians to know. Ivo died, one, because the person who came to kill him was somebody that he knew. Two, when Ivo died, he had no weapons because the weapons were in Guzan and they were using it to fight against other Amazonians. And Ivo died because of the infighting too, because as a result of the infighting, he motivated, I don't know if the person did that knowing what he was doing, to go tell, because they killed Ivo to get back at Cho Ayaba. Because Ayaba was now bragging a lot about Ivo and the public campaign and belittling other people that you don't have a general like us. So sheepishly, they killed Ivo thinking they were going to hurt Ayaba, not knowing that they were hurting the Amazonian cause as a whole.
Yes.
So that is actually what went down.
Let me move to my next question. A word or two about Pastor John Egiawan and his activities on the ground. So basically, you have two people that seems to be evil. You have Benedict Kwa, you have John Egiawan, and those two people, from my understanding and little investigations done, are the reasons why these boys are fighting and killing themselves.
I mean, it's no secret. I don't know how they call themselves pastors. John Egiawan and Sako. I'll be very honest about it. Okay, I don't have a personal problem with Egiawan or Sako. He calls me, I call him. But I don't support thieves. John Egiawan is a thief.
Period.
Same with Sako. I'm not going to hide it. This is one of the reasons that they fought ferociously. Everybody's going to criticize me and say stuff about me. Okay, wait and see. They're going to say, oh, Denis stole money, he did that. And so, though you know me, I don't lack means. I can do whatever I want to do.
But I can't vouch for you, Denis. I know you as
this is the stuff.
Okay,
One of the stuff I tell people is that if they want it, we can put our tax return online. It's no secret. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and point fingers at people. But John Egiawan and Sako are thieves. Out of the 700,000 they collected in my trip to Boya, these are my words. And if they dispute it, they can file a lawsuit and I'll bring my paperwork. They gave less than $16,000 to Ground Zero. And the $16,000 was for Odeshi, not even for weapons.
Pastors that give money for Odeshi, is that what you're saying? And they go to the pulpit.
I swear to you that that is what they did.
Yes,
so
I believe
this is what happened. So when they have done this twice, and if we have time, we should talk about the Nambere issue, which I want the world to know. Nambere did not do anything bad. Nambere was frustrated because the IG promised him weapons and never gave him anything. They make him to stay in ground one. Believe me, I have all the audios. If they dispute it, I'm going to put everything out. John Egiawan took money, went to ground one, did not give those boys a penny. What they did was ask them to go and get Odeshi. Okay?
Yes.
And when I asked him, he said that they don't want to give weapons to those boys because after independence, it's going to be hard to recharge the weapons. And guess what? It is what it is. His supporters and the IG supporters can be blind and argue all they want. Let them show proof that the IG bought even 5 weapons with the money they collected. These guys, they collected over 700,000 US dollars. We are talking about 350 million francs, French colonial francs. How did I know this? When I started working with AMF, I was trying to do an inventory of our firepower. The ASC guys told me that they basically are unarmed. They have den guns and everything. So I asked them, where is the money that was contributed for my trip to Boya? I went as far as I organized a conference call with me, John Egiawan, Tabenyang, the finance secretary of IG, Katrine of ARC, John Ba Akoro, and Momsi Vivian. On that call, we had Sop Funcha because they had accused that the money they gave for ASC, Sop Funcha has embezzled the money. When they brought up that topic, I brought Sop Funcha on the line. Sop Funcha said he got $8,000 from the IG, from the 700,000. Now, we can go about everything we want to say, but this is the bottom line. Of the money, for all the money for my trip to Boya, the boys got nothing in terms of weapons.
Okay.